Hello groovy subscribers, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good day, evening, or night. Now this is something that's bugged me for quite a few days or past week. You've already read the title of the video, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Some of you know, or may not know, that there is some beef between the G1 fans and the Bayverse fans. I don't know what it is, or how it started. All I know is that it's happening and I want to know why. Can someone explain to me why this is a thing? Because there's no way that people would go out of their way to spew hate towards someone who has an opinion about a movie or show they don't like. Oh, I forgot to mention that this video is going to be from my perspective. I know that there are people who can agree and disagree on things, whether it's from the video or on different views. Just be respectful about it, like Optimus. Now let's just start the intro and get into it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more groovy videos. Now if you'll excuse me, we got a war to win. Now I don't want to believe this, but I kind of think the Transformers fandom is a little toxic. I don't know how toxic it is, but I hope it's not as toxic as the Steven Universe fandom. The whole thing started probably a couple of months ago, when I was watching Rodimus Primal's livestream with Patriot Prime and a couple of other TF channels, and he explained that a bunch of Bayverse fans came in and started spewing nothing but hate, just because he has a personal opinion, why he doesn't like the Bayverse. I may or may not find a clip of him saying it, but hopefully I will. Hey, this is my future self letting you know I did not find the clip, because he has a bunch of live streams, and I'm not gonna watch live streams for hours trying to find one clip, but I know for a fact he said it. If you guys watch Rodimus Primal's stream you would know or remember when he said it. Anyways, back to the video. And I agree, why he doesn't like the Bayverse. Now please, for the love of Primus, listen to what I have to say, before you go all Galvatron on me. Just because I have an opinion. By the way, the Rodimus Primal actually knows how a Transformers movie should be.
Start the story. It's all about the Autobots and Decepticons. All about them. The humans, just like the G1 cartoon, were second fiddle. The Transformers were the stars. They can have humans in the movie, but the humans are second fiddle. Like, they're not part of the main story. You know, it's not about the military. It's not about, you know, a boy in his car. It's about they wake up. The Transformers have woken up. You know, the Ark awakens, and the Transformers now exist, and they now exist in our world, and they're sneaking in. They're trying to hide because they're trying to hide from each other. You know, and let the story be about them. Let Optimus Prime be the hero. Let Megatron be the villain. Let Starscream want to take over. Let Soundwave be dispatching cassettes. Let there be some good characters, you know? And that's what I want. I know it's kind of going back to the G1 story, but think about it. That's Transformers.
That's what I want in a Transformers movie. I know I'm sidetracking here, but think about it. Would you rather watch a Transformers movie where humans in the military take up way too much screen time than the Transformers themselves doing some exposition, doing cringy scenes and jokes for a laugh? Or do you want to watch a Transformers movie where it's about the Transformers having character development and getting to know them instead of seeing them doing something cool and getting killed off for shock value? Oh, and if Rodimus Primal sees this, I highly apologize for using your clips without your permission. I could have contacted you, but I rushed into this and got in too deep about this situation. I know some of you have common sense, even though you like G1 or the Bayverse can understand where I'm coming from. Anyway, after hearing that, I was thinking, oh come on, there's no way people are taking their time saying negative things about Rodimus, because he literally has an opinion. I don't blame him for not liking the Bayverse. Michael Bay barely respects the source material. He even stated he never watched the OG cartoon.
Adapt the franchise to the silver screen.
Because I'm not a first-generation Transformers fan. I think I was a little old for them.
Now let me get this straight, I grew up with the Bayverse ever since the first movie for the DVD came out. I never knew they had a cartoon series made in the 90s, and I'll admit the OG cartoons are really entertaining for a Saturday morning cartoon. Even though season 2 had a lot of characters, I still enjoyed their character development and solo episodes. I'll be honest, the Bayverse would be better if Michael Bay respected the source material. But I can't entirely blame Michael Bay for how the Bayverse ended up, even though it kind of was his fault for not respecting the source material. I blame mostly Paramount for how the Bayverse turned out. Imagine if you worked at a movie studio, company or whatever, and they want me to produce a movie called Batman. Now remember, I probably never heard of Batman or watched the animated series, so I try creating my own universe and try bringing it into a realistic approach, and all I do for my Batman movie is add breast butts, good action scenes, product placement, cringy sex jokes, but most of all, oh, and one more thing. How would you like it if I took your childhood hero, role model, or even father figure who would never kill, and have Batman brutally murdering and branding random criminals like a psycho? Here's the thing, I'm fine with Prime killing if it's absolutely necessary. What I'm not fine with is Prime being portrayed as a psycho murder bot that has a fetish for ripping faces off. This isn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, take a look at Peter Cullen, the legendary voice actor of Optimus Prime, who is taking advice from his brother who was part of the United States Marine Corps and fought in Vietnam.
He's a hero truck. He's a hero. And his face got somber and he said, Peter, if you're going to be a hero, be a real hero. Don't be a Hollywood hero type with all the BS and all the yelling and screaming and trying to be tough. Be strong enough to be gentle. Okay, Lar, yeah. So as his voice is ringing in my ears as I'm driving to the audition, and I read the copy, and Larry is just coming out. His voice, the way he talked to me, and it said, you know, I'm Optimus Prime. No, it was, my name is Optimus Prime.
That's what Peter Cullen's brother told him not to be when playing Optimus Prime. That's why Rodimus doesn't like the Michael Bay version of Optimus, and I don't blame him. He's not supposed to be shouting.
Give me your face. You die. You defend my family. Or die. I'll kill you. I will kill you.
And I know the Bayverse fans are calling me a fake Bayverse fan, and I belong to the smelting pit with the G1 fans, and saying it's war, someone's gonna die. That's how it is in the real world. A. Who asked for the movies to be realistic, and B. No duh, people / bots are gonna die. We seen Transformers characters die since the 1986 movie. Sorry about that. Now, I have made a Instagram post announcing my latest video on the Transformers being involved with human history, and I got a comment on being called a zoomer because I grew up watching the Bayverse. Like, okay, I watch the Bayverse, and I'm talking about a massive flaw about the 5th movie. What's the problem with that? I just assume he or she was a kid / teenager, so I didn't pay any mind to it. Fast forward a month later, is where I start to really think about the beef between the G1 fans and Bayverse fans and wonder why the hate from both sides. Again, I understand their reasons for not liking different Transformers media, but can't they just agree and disagree on certain things instead of being biased and being spiteful over two successful franchises that gave us a good childhood? well sorta successful until this abomination of a Transformers film. I honest to Primus hope Michael Bay doesn't touch Transformers again. Give it to someone who actually understands Transformers and treats them with respect, like Travis Knight did with the Bumblebee movie. Again, sorry about that. So last week, I was watching a YouTuber called Perspective End, which you should definitely check out and subscribe. By the way, Perspective, if you're watching this, thank you for letting me borrow a clip from your video. Anyway, he made a video discussing the studio series for the 1986 Transformers figures, and I wanted to see what he thinks about the figures, because I have the king of Dinobots Grimlock, my main bot Jazz, the fastest Autobot Blur, and recently the Autobot who made the biggest mistake of his life, and learned to live with, and become a leader. Hot Rod, and while watching his video, this is what he said.
Talk about it. Let me start off by addressing the controversy hitting a lot of fans of the Studio Series. If you're not in the know, the Studio Series is a toy line that to this point has catered exclusively to the live-action fans. There are a large number of people right now very upset that the 86 line is getting made at all, seeing it as a betrayal of the line, and they are sick of seeing the G1 fans get catered to over everyone else in the fandom. Let me play devil's advocate a bit here. 1. Just because the G1ers want something doesn't make it a bad thing to get. And 2. This isn't the end of the Studio Series as you knew it. The Bumblebee figures came out at the same time as the other Studio Series figures, so more than likely they will continue to release non-86 figures with the 86 line. They will just share shelf space. Also,
now after hearing that, I didn't believe him at first, so me still being oblivious, I commented, asking that is there an actual beef between G1 and Bayverse fans, because I thought it was a running joke or gag, and luckily enough, Perspective End commented and confirmed my curiosity, and I'm bewildered by this. That's when I knew I had to make a video about this to address the situation and wonder why is there beef. Before making the video, me and Perspective End have been chatting and had a conversation about it, the G1 and movie fans, and gave his view on the situation. Okay, so after talking with Perspective End, I wanted to post something up on Instagram to see why people don't like either G1 or the Bayverse, and so far most of you who follow me on Instagram choose G1 over Bayverse, but it wasn't enough. I want to know why G1 and Bayverse fans don't like each other from their point of view. And there are pretty good valid points why they don't like the cartoon or the live action movies. Just look at these comments. I agree with the majority of them. Yeah, G1 is outdated. There are too many characters to give any character development, and it's a kids show with the same generic plot where the Decepticons are up to something and the Autobots have to stop them like every Saturday morning cartoon. And yeah, it was made because of the toys. Again, listen, I grew up with the Bayverse. Just because I'm pointing out the flaws doesn't make me a sellout or a fake Bayverse fan. I love the live action movies. Dark of the Moon is my personal favorite out of all the Bayverse films. I just think they have a problem connecting with the audience. Now the Bayverse has a majority of problems when it comes to the plot, rambling on certain things to progress with the story, like Revenge of the Fallen. Most of the humor is god awful. You'd swear a 13-year-old filmed this and finds it funny for people to laugh. I mean, serious, was it really necessary to put a 5-second clip of dogs humping each other in your movie for a cheap laugh? And I don't know if it's me, but this scene just really infuriates me.
Find this bloody stuff.
Look at this little fake horse. Probably stuffed in its butt or something. Guys do stupid stuff like that.
What is going on?
Just grab it. Hurry, let's make this quick.
This is exciting.
I can't get it out.
Oh, wow. Great.
Oh my god, such a hoarder.
Ah.
It's like having Tarzan in the house.
Slow down.
I'm gonna take a peek.
The pacing were long as frag. Age of Extinction was the longest film, and I'll be honest, I still like Age of Extinction because they had potential with the story. Unfortunately, it came to a massive anticlimax. There's way too much screen time for humans in a Transformers movie. There's way too many characters for most people to keep track of. And yeah, G1 has a crap ton of Transformers, but you can at least try to keep the Autobots and Decepticons into a minimum, so people don't get confused on who's who, like the first movie having 5 Autobots and 5 Decepticons. And please focus on each character that is significant to the plot. Don't worry, I know frenzy counts. Another problem is that they give Bumblebee way too much screen time. I understand he's a fan favorite, baddest Autobot, but there are plenty of characters that deserve some development and screen time. And I know I'm complaining, but I don't give a scrap. I got to add this, but would it kill you guys at the studio to add some color for the Decepticons? You gave the Autobots some color, why not shed a little light on them? They don't have to be cartoon accurate, but make them recognizable like Shatter and Dropkick. When people think of the Bayverse Decepticons, all they could think of is a pile of scrap metal with sharp jagged edges sticking out of them. And most importantly, why do most of them have zero development? Like Shockwave just showing up in Dark of the Moon to just die. His pet Driller had more screen time than Shockwave. They gave him this awesome, eerie theme that made it seem like he was a big deal. I don't think he didn't anything significant in the Bayverse other than having his eye gouged out. Shockwave is the most liked Decepticon in the Marvel comics and TV shows, and this is how you treat him. He's supposed to be a ruthless Decepticon scientist, but all he's doing is
He's just standing there, menacingly!
What a complete waste of potential. I guarantee you, if he didn't appear in Dark of the Moon, nothing would change at all. If you like Dark of the Moon Shockwave for some reason besides his looks, you might as well like any character that can do nothing when you turn your brain off. Shockwave was way more threatening in the Dark of the Moon comics, and he actually did stuff. I swear the people who made the live action comics should have been the writers for the Bayverse, because at least they have a vision and actually gave a damn about the story. Hey, this is Future Self again. To say that Shockwave did so much that impact the comics, that should have been adapted in the movies. He is a ruthless son of a glitch. He killed 2 Autobots, one of them named Longarm. Wow, that's a nice little Transformers animated reference there. He mortally wounded Mirage and Wheeljack, which is why they look like this. He showed Starscream that he ain't scrap, but worst of all, he killed Elita 1. Optimus Prime's girlfriend was killed in front of him by a ruthless Decepticon scientist. And that enraged Optimus so much he kicked his tailpipe and bashed his mechanical skull open. If they showed this scene in the Bayverse movies, that would be a perfect excuse for Prime to go full on beast mode, pun totally intended, and kill Shockwave. You wouldn't blame Optimus for doing it. I'm sorry, Rodimus, I know you wouldn't want Optimus to kill, but that would be the only time where I would allow him to kill like that. I don't know about him saying,
You die!
but if I had to change it, I would have put this as for Elita and Chromia. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he killed Ironhide's girlfriend too. Okay, hopefully this would be the last edit. Now back to the video. The only character development from the Decepticons were the knockoff Suicide Squad that couldn't survive 10 minutes into the movie, except for Nitrozus, who will end up dying later in the movie. And come to think of it, I believe Nitrozus is the only Suicide Squad knockoff that got his own toy. I know this is off topic, but isn't Cogman a headmaster?
Trying, my lord.
He is a headmaster, very rare breed.
That dude's disturbing. Like seriously evil.
They said he's a headmaster in the last night. They had a toy of Cogman with a Transformer's body, and isn't there supposed to be a scene of Cogman killing Nitrozus and taking his body? What happened to that? Were the humans in the movie that important? You didn't bother adding a scene. That would have been cool to see. OMG, I gotta make a video about why The Last Night is so bad, and how it almost killed the franchise. Overall, there are good points why people don't like both the cartoon and live action movies, and I can see why they have different views on it. But if someone disagrees with someone you like, or don't like the things you like, there's no need to be all
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
just because someone has an opinion. You also need to accept the faults of what you like, even if you're completely biased. This goes to both G1 and Bayverse fans. I love both the cartoon and live action movies except this one. If you like something that no one likes, that's totally fine. Not everyone is the same. We have our own different views. I would like to thank Perspective N for letting me borrow his clip. Please go subscribe to his channel. If you haven't yet, he's really entertaining. And don't forget to subscribe to Rodimus Primal and Patriot Bot's channel. By the way, if any chance that Rodimus Primal sees this video, I'm sorry for using a clip and not having the chance to contact you. I really love you and Patriot Prime's idea of a Transformers film done right, because Hollywood nowadays just want to make things for money and audiences who don't open their eyes just eat that up without thinking. You shouldn't be attacked for having an opinion and wanting something you want in a Transformers movie. So far the Bumblebee movie did it well, and hopefully the next director for the Transformers film will have some respect for the source material and don't turn Optimus into a Leatherface wannabe and follow the Michael Bay tropes. I just want a good Transformers movie that just focuses on the Transformers themselves, whether it is Beast Wars or the Bumblebee sequel. I love your videos and always be positive. And I believe that's it, but what do you guys think? Why do you guys not like G1 or the Bayverse from your perspective? And why do you think there's beef between them? I hope you guys like the video, and please do comment and let me know your thoughts on the subject, whether it's about the beef, or my little rants. Also, I will always plan on making videos in the future to entertain you guys. If you haven't seen all the Transformers memes or the problem with Transformers and human history, it will be on the outro of the video. Stay tuned and keep being groovy like jazz. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like. Give the video a shout out. Above all, give the channel a groovy subscriber.